Welcome back to my channel. I am back with another review, so if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. A lot went down in this episode, so let's just get right into this review. After Flo and Gaelle caused a bunch of drama at Bobby's birthday party in the previous episode, Flo decides that at the very beginning of this episode, she's going to meet up with Claudia to try to work things out. Flo and Claudia have not been speaking to each other since they got into it a few episodes ago because Flo told Claudia that she was thinking about letting Marlon move back in. And I understand where Claudia's coming from because I think if the roles were reversed, I don't think that Flo would want to be with Claudia either if she ended up letting one of her exes or her soon-to-be ex-husband move back into her house. It's just a really uncomfortable situation, but I can't really blame Flo that much because Claudia knew what she was getting into when she decided to get into this relationship with Flo. She knew that Flo was not divorced yet and she still wanted to be with her anyway. Now, Flo does end up letting Claudia know that even though she let Marlon move back in, nothing has been going on between the two of them, and she has set up a bunch of rules because she just does not want Claudia to be uncomfortable, and she claims that she doesn't want to be with Marlon anymore, so Claudia doesn't have anything to worry about, and so the two of them end up apologizing to each other. Now, Claudia and Flo end up talking, and Flo tells Claudia that she has an upcoming cosmetic event that she has planned, and she doesn't want any drama there, but she should expect that somebody's gonna end up showing up and messing up her event, just like her and Gaelle have been ruining everybody else's event. She just messed up Bobby's birthday party in the previous episode, and her and Gaelle have been ruining events all season, so I don't know why she thinks that nobody's gonna show up to hers and cause a bunch of drama. So because Shay ended up losing her baby, unfortunately, she ended up having to get surgery to get the baby out, and she brought her mother with her for support. Now, Fabo is supposed to be showing up, but he shows up late while she's already in surgery. And while Shay's mother is outside on the phone, Fabo ends up showing up. And look, Shay specifically told her mother not to tell any of her business anymore, and she told her mother not to tell Fabo that she lost the baby because she wanted to tell him herself. But apparently Shay's mother does not listen because she ends up telling Fabo about it anyway. Now, personally, I feel like Shay should have already told Fabo what was going on so that he knew. But at the same time, it's not her mother's place to tell her business. It's not her place to get involved in Shay's personal life, and so she should have just kept her mouth shut. She seems to not be able to keep her mouth shut at all because she's been running Shay's business all season. Now, because Fabo and Shay's mother do not get along with each other, they kind of had a little bit of a back and forth. It didn't get as heated as it did last season, but it definitely was gonna get there if they didn't stop talking. So I'm glad that Fabo ended up walking away from the conversation. Now, when the procedure was done and Shay was getting into the car to go home to relax, that's when Fabo started comforting her and trying to talk to her and try to really get her to relax. And you can tell that Shay's mother was upset about this because she feels like they're gonna end up getting back together. So when Shay gets home and she's trying to relax because she's obviously sick and tired after surgery, her mother ends up going in there and telling her that she does not want her and Fabo to get back together. And that's when Shay started checking her mother. And look, normally I wouldn't be okay with somebody talking to their mother like this, but I feel like Shay has a right to speak to her mother the way that she's doing because her mother is getting too involved in her business. And look, Shay ended up getting her mother all the way together because she told her mother that she should not be concerned whether or not she gets back with Fabo because she's gotten back with her husband multiple times after he's cheated on her. And you can tell that her mother did not like that her business was being put out there, but at the same time, she's okay with putting Shay's business out there after Shay tells her not to. So I honestly don't feel like Shay was wrong in this situation, but I do feel like Shay should not get back together with Fabo. But at the end of the day, it's her choice and she's going to do what she wants to do. Now, after all the drama that went down at Bobby's birthday party in the previous episode, Hot Topic and Joy go away for a little bit because they just want to get away from the drama. And Hot Topic says that she was really upset at the way that Gaelle and Flo tried to put her on blast at Bobby's birthday party, putting up these flyers, throwing them at everybody with a bunch of stuff that she's allegedly done in her past. She did say that she has a criminal history, but she said that she hasn't done anything criminal in the last 10 years because she has daughters and she knows that they're looking up to her and she wants to change her life around. And I think it's fair for her to not want people to throw her past in her face, and I don't think that it was right what Flo and Gaelle did at Bobby's birthday party to this woman. I think that it was really messy because had she would have done this to them, then it would have been an issue and they would have had a problem with it, and Flo would have been acting like a victim. And Joy said that she no longer sees Flo as innocent or a victim anymore, because Flo, to me, has done a really good job of making it look like she's innocent and that Gaelle is the one that's problematic. And although Gaelle is problematic, I'm starting to see that Flo is just as much drama as Gaelle is. She just is not as forward with it as Gaelle is. And so now that people are starting to see through Flo's facade, her mask is starting to slip and people are starting to see who she really is. And Hot Topic tells Joy that a little birdie told her that Flo is broke, and so she said that because Flo has an upcoming event for her cosmetic line, she might show up and cause some drama just like Flo did in the previous episode. And look, normally I would say that it's wrong to show up to somebody's event and cause drama, but Flo has been doing it to other people with her sister Gaelle for the past few weeks, and so I don't really feel bad for her. Now, Bobby and Amara also end up meeting up to talk about what happened at his birthday party, because both of them had a really bad run-in with Flo and Gaelle at the party. Flo basically went up to Amara and tried to check her about saying that her storyline with Safari was fake, because Flo felt like because Amara said this, people are going to think that her story is fake too, and she said that everything that she's shown on the show is real. And then she started telling Amara that she needs to be done with Safari completely. And look, it's not really Flo's place to tell Amara what to do, and I don't know why she came at Amara the way that she did. Yes, Amara should not be with Safari because it's just not going to work out, but that's not her place to tell Amara what to do. And Bobby is really upset with Flo too, because she ended up bringing Gaelle to his party as her +1, and he did not want Gaelle there because she has a history of causing drama at people's events. And so he's saying that he also wants to show up to Flo's upcoming cosmetic line event, and he wants to stir up some drama there too, just like she did at his party. So I'm definitely feeling like Flo's event is going to be ruined. I mean, yeah, Bobby is messy too, so he can't really talk about people being messy, but you showed up to his birthday party and you caused a bunch of drama and you started a bunch of mess, so I understand why he's upset, and he has a reason to be. And he also said that he feels like Flo is not as innocent as she tries to pretend to be. So basically, everybody on this cast is starting to realize that Flo is very problematic. So ever since Marlon has been living back at Flo's house, now he's saying that he wants his family back. And look, he should have been worried about his family before he decided to cheat on his wife. And so now that he cheated on his wife and she doesn't want to be with him anymore and she's moved on, now he wants to try to weasel his way back in. So he ends up meeting up with Gaelle and tells her that he needs her to help him come up with a plan in order to get Claudia out of the picture. And because Gaelle does not like Claudia, she does tell him that he needs to get the proof that him and Flo have been sleeping together so that he can show it to Claudia so that things could be over between the two of them and he can get back into the picture with Flo. I just really think it's disgusting how Flo's family goes against her and they basically are on Marlon's side and they try to help him do things to mess up her life. I just don't like that they do that. But Flo also allows them to still be a part of her life and she lets them into her business. So it's hard for me to feel bad for her anymore. So Trina is in a new relationship and she seems really, really happy. Now, I don't know what happens behind closed doors between the two of them, but on this show, it seems like she's really happy and she says that she's never felt this way before. And he seems to treat her really well from what we're able to see. So I'm really happy for Trina. And look, she's been saying that she doesn't want children, but in this episode, she was saying that she's considering it because she's really happy. Now, it's the night of Flo's cosmetic event and Marlon ends up showing up and he goes right up to her knowing that Claudia is there and he kisses her on the cheek and tells her how proud of her he is. And look, I don't feel like Flo really sets enough boundaries with him, because him coming up to her and kissing her on the cheek should be something that he's not allowed to do if she's in a relationship with somebody else. And Marlon is so messy that he ends up going up to Claudia at the event and he shows her a video of them and the kids dancing together, and she didn't feel no type of way about it because obviously the kids were dancing too. But then he ends up showing Claudia a video of Flo grinding on him on the dance floor, and look, it definitely was messy and it looks like they've been messing around with each other. I don't know if they really were, but I just feel like if Flo is not messing around with Marlon, then why is she dancing with him like that? Now, Claudia probably did feel some type of way about this, but I am glad that Claudia did not give Marlon the reaction that he wanted from her. He wanted her to flip out about it and get pissed off, but she said that he probably purposely recorded these videos because he wanted to show them to her so that she would get mad. Which is exactly what he was trying to do, but I don't like that Flo's family is in on it with him. Like, he went to this event purposely to try to stir up some drama, and that's exactly what he ended up doing. Now, Amara and Bobby end up showing up because they want to confront Flo about ruining both of their events. Because if you remember, at the very end of last season, Gaelle and Flo ended up ruining Amara's event as well. And Bobby ends up telling Flo that even though he gave her the ability to bring a +1 to his birthday party in the previous episode, he did not want Gaelle to be the person to be there. And look, Flo was not having it because she said that Bobby, Trina, Joy, and now Hot Topic rolled together as a crew, and so she doesn't understand why she can't bring her crew with her as well. And Amara and Bobby were really annoyed at Flo because I don't think that they thought she was this type of person. Like, I don't think they thought that she was messy and vindictive, but now they see this side of her because basically she said that they weren't getting any apology from her because she's not sorry. And even though I think that she should be sorry for ruining somebody's event, I understand why she did not apologize because look, I don't want an apology from anybody if it's not real. Do not say sorry to me if you do not mean it. And so if she's not going to mean it, then she doesn't need to say it. So Bobby is so annoyed, and because Bobby is messy too, I think that he's going to go down to her level and he's going to try to ruin her event just like she ruined his. Now, when Flo ends up getting on the microphone to say a speech and thank everybody for coming, that's when Marlon ends up getting on the microphone, and he basically was saying how proud he is of Flo and how happy he is for her, and he was basically painting the picture that the two of them are back together again. So Bobby was really messy, and he yells out from the crowd, "What about your girlfriend?" Because obviously Claudia is sitting right there in the front row. But Flo ends up getting on the microphone and saying that Claudia doesn't have anything to worry about, and then she tries to get Claudia to come stand next to her, but Claudia would not do it. And look, I understand why Claudia did not want to go up there because what's the point? I mean, you have your ex-husband standing up there too next to you giving a speech, and then your mother standing next to your soon-to-be ex-husband with her arm around him, so excited that he's up there standing next to her. So obviously Claudia's not going to want to go up there. And what was so messy about this whole situation is that Flo's mom ends up getting on the microphone and telling Flo that she needs to kiss Marlon. And when Flo declines kissing Marlon, her mother ends up saying, "Why not? You guys are still sleeping together." And look, that was messy of her mother to do something like that. Even if it is for a storyline, why would you want to make yourself look like you're that bad of a mother, like that you would do something like that to your daughter? And when Flo tries to tell Claudia that her and Marlon have not been sleeping together and that her mother is lying, that's when Marlon ends up pulling out a video of Claudia in the bed, and she's wearing lingerie and she's sleeping and he's laying next to her. And that was so messy. Like, honestly, I don't know if they've been sleeping together again, because when the producer ended up asking Flo in her confessional if she's been sleeping with Marlon, she did not say that she wasn't sleeping with him. So maybe she was, and maybe he's not lying, but maybe he is lying because he just wants Claudia out of the picture, which is what he said he was going to do. So Claudia ends up running out of the event because she wants to leave, and Flo ends up following behind her and saying that Marlon is lying and that he took that video of her while she was sleeping and that she has not been sleeping with him. But Claudia is not buying it, and she ends up telling Flo that Marlon also ended up showing a video of her grinding on him, and so she feels some type of way about it. So Flo was not successful in trying to get Claudia to stay because Claudia ended up leaving, and so Flo goes back inside and she tells Marlon that he needs to leave, and her mother does not want him to leave, and I don't understand why her family is not on her side, why they're on this man's side who lied and cheated on their sister and daughter. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And then this woman ends up showing up and she starts yelling and she starts putting up these flyers on the wall, and she starts saying that Flo and everybody needs to leave the building because Flo is 3 months behind on rent and they all have to leave. And look, that was really messy, but Hot Topic apparently is the one who set this thing up because basically Bobby said that this person who showed up putting these flyers on the wall and throwing out there that Flo did not pay her rent in the past 3 months and that she's broke is Hot Topic's cousin. Look, I kind of felt bad for Flo, but at the same time I didn't, because she's been showing up to these events with her sister, ruining people's events and being really messy, and now all of that has backfired on her. None of it has backfired on her messy sister because her sister has a bad reputation already. Flo did not have a bad reputation, but running around with her sister made her have one, and now people are getting her back for all the messy things that her and her sister have done, and she's the one that's gonna suffer for it. So those are my thoughts on this week's episode of Love and Hip Hop Miami. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all. And until next time, I will talk to you guys in my next video.